welcome back to our own channel. Today we are going to start with the 12th chapter of Chemistry class 12th, that is alcohols, phenols and ether. So it is the second chapter of our organic chemistry. So student, we will start with alcohols. So first we will learn all the theory part of alcohol. Then we are going to move on the preparation of alcohols. So what is alcohol? You all must be knowing that when a hydroxy group is attached to an alkyl group, it forms an alcoholic compound. So here I have written the definition. The organic compound in which hydroxy group, that is the OH group, is attached to an alkyl group, it is called as alcohol. So let me give you one example, like CH3. It is an alkyl group, right? What it is? It is methyl, and it is attached to a hydroxy group OH. So it will become methanol. So how you are going to name alcohol? You just have to put this suffix after the alkane name. So it will become methanol, or else you can say methyl alcohol. Methyl alcohol is the common name and methanol is the proper name or IUPAC name. Okay. Now students, we have to classify alcohol. So we can classify it on two bases. The first basis to classify our alcohol is according to the number of hydroxy groups that are present in that organic compound. So on that basis, the first classification of alcohol is monohydric alcohol. So you can guess from this mono, it means there is only one hydroxy group. So any organic compound which contains only one OH group is called as monohydric alcohol. Or you can say the alcohol which contains only one hydroxy group is called as monohydric alcohol. So let us take one example of it. This is CH3CH2, that is the ethyl group, and here only one OH group is attached. It will be named as, you can guess it, it is ethanol. Okay. Since here only one OH group is attached, so it will be included in the monohydric alcohol group. Now student, we have the next one, that is dihydric alcohol. So you can guess di means two. So any compound which contains two OH group or two hydroxy group is called as dihydric alcohol. The alcohol which contains two OH group is called as dihydric alcohol. So let me give you an example. CH2CH2, which is OH and OH. So now you can name it as 1 or 1, 2, or you can say diethanol. It will be proper diethanol. Okay, because 1, 2, you don't have to number it, or else you can say diethanol. Next is trihydric alcohol. It means there are 3 hydroxy group in that particular organic compound. So the alcohol which contains 3 OH group or 3 hydroxy group is called as trihydric alcohol. So now you can make a compound which has 3 OH groups attached and you can name it according to this. Now students, we have studied what is monohydric alcohol. So monohydric alcohol is the alcohol which contains only one OH group. Now we are going to further classify this monohydric alcohol. So it will be classified into 2 other species. One is alkyl alcohol and one is vinylic alcohol. Now what is alkyl alcohol? When this OH group is attached to an sp3 carbon atom, a carbon atom which is only single bonded to another hydrogen's atom or carbon atom, is called as sp3 carbon atom, right? So when OH group is attached to that sp3 carbon or that single bond carbon, it is called as alkyl alcohol. So I'll show you an example so you can understand it better. What is sp3 carbon atom? So here I am taking carbon and it is attached to 2 hydrogens over here, and then this is OH. So this OH group is attached to a carbon which is only single bonded, right? There is no double bond in between. Thus it is alkyl group or sp3 hybridized carbon atom. So when OH group is attached to such sp3 hybridized carbon atom, it is called as alkyl alcohol. Easy. Now students, you can guess what will be vinylic alcohol. So now let us understand it. Guessed it right. So vinylic alcohol is that organic compound in which the OH group is attached to sp2 hybridized carbon atom. sp2 hybridized carbon atom means that the carbon atom is doubly bonded attached. Okay, so it is attached to one another carbon atom with a double bond. Okay, so here I'll show you an example so you can understand it better. So this is CH, this will be CH2 and OH. So you can see this OH is attached to a double bonded carbon atom. Okay, so this is having a double bond, thus it is called as vinylic alcohol. Since there is a double bond in between, thus it is vinylic alcohol. I hope now you have understand the classification of alcohol and what are alcohols. Now we are going to prepare this alcohol. So we have total 6 preparation method over here. Hydrolysis of alkyl halide, hydration of alkene, hydroboration oxidation of alkene. Then next there is reduction of carboxylic acid, reduction of aldehyde and ketone, and last from Grignard reagent. So first we are going to see hydrolysis of alkyl halide. So students, we are now familiar with alkyl halide. That is when halogen is attached to an alkyl group, it is called as alkyl halide. So using this we are going to prepare alcohol. So here I have taken alkyl halide, and now what I am going to do is NaOH, I am going to react it with sodium hydroxide, aqueous. Remember student, whenever there is aqueous condition, it means there is going to be a substitution reaction. If it is in alcoholic form, there is going to be elimination reaction. So don't forget to mention this aqueous and don't write alcoholic over here, because it will disturb the whole mechanism of the reaction, right? Whenever it is aqueous, it means there will be substitution. If there is alcoholic, it means it is elimination. So this aqueous word says a lot about the reaction mechanism. So don't forget this thing. So since it is aqueous, it means there will be a substitution reaction. So what will happen over here? This X will get attached to this Na, sodium, and this OH will take the place of X. So there is a substitution, right, between this X and NaOH. Okay, so now this OH is coming over here, ROH becomes alcohol and NaX becomes sodium halide. So you can see the substitution over here, right? So we'll take one example so you can understand it better. I'm taking one methyl chloride over here and I'm going to react it with sodium hydroxide in aqueous condition. And remember to put the heat sign over here. So what will happen over here? This OH will get attached to this methyl alcohol, or you can say it as methanol, and the Cl will get attached with Na, so it will form sodium chloride. Okay, so it will be a precipitate. So student understood, whenever there is aqueous condition mentioned, it means there will be a substitution reaction, and here this is substitution and it will lead to the formation of methanol. So when methyl chloride or chloromethane reacts with sodium hydroxide in aqueous condition, it gives out methanol along with NaCl, that is sodium chloride. Now I hope you understood the mechanism behind this reaction. Now let us see what is hydration of alkene. So student, you must be remembering that hydration means that addition of water, right? When there is hydrogenation, it means there is addition of hydrogen. When there is halogenation, it means there is addition of halogen. So hydration means addition of water. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to take one alkene and then we are going to add water in it. But remember, there should be presence of acid catalyst. Okay, in this acid catalyst, maybe it HCl or any acid like H2SO4, in the presence of that acid catalyst, we are going to add water in the alkene. Okay, so one H will get attached to this carbon. Here the double bond will get broken and half will come over here, half. This H will get attached to one carbon and OH will get attached to another carbon. So we'll get one what we can say alcohol. Okay, and this reaction is based on Sadzev rule. Now let us see one example. I'm taking the most easy example, that is ethene or ethylene, and I'm taking HOH over here, that is water, and here any acid catalyst. If you can't remember any acid's name, then you can simply put this acid catalyst over there. Okay, so now what will happen? This H will get attached to the CH2, it will become CH3. The bond is broken, right? And then CH2, OH will get attached to it, and here from ethene I have got ethanol. So this is the mechanism behind hydration of alkene. And if you have to write the statement of it, you can say when ethene reacts with water in presence of an acid catalyst, hydration of alkene takes place to form ethanol. Now we are going to jump on the next reaction. that is hydroboration oxidation of alkene. So students remember, hydro means there will be presence of hydrogen, boration means there is presence of borane, and then oxidation means there will be presence of oxygen. Wait, I'll make you understand this reaction. So what we have to do is, over here we have to take one alkene and then we have to react it with diborane. This is diborane, okay, and in presence of peroxide, and it will form alcohol. So students, since you can see there is peroxide mentioned over here. Now remember, in 11th class you must have studied about Markovnikov rule. What does Markovnikov rule says? It says then that when an unsymmetrical reagent gets added to an unsymmetrical alkene, the negative part of reagent goes to that carbon atom which contains less hydrogen atoms, right? And what is anti-Markovnikov rule? It is just opposite of Markovnikov rule. But there is a condition for the anti-Markovnikov rule to be performed, and that there should be presence of peroxide. So when you take peroxide in that reaction, it will follow anti-Markovnikov rule. So means in this reaction there will be it will follow anti-Markovnikov rule. Okay, I'll show you how. First we can see this alkene over here, and then there is borane over here, diborane, in presence of H2O2. So whenever these reagents are there, it gives out HOH, okay, H and OH. Now student, what will happen over here? This is a reagent, right? This is plus cation and this is anion. Now here you can see this is asymmetrical alkene and this is asymmetrical reagent. Now we don't have to don't have to use that Markovnikov rule. We have to use anti-Markovnikov rule. So according to anti-Markovnikov rule, the negative part of the reagent will go to that carbon atom which has less number of hydrogen atom. So it means, sorry, it is Markovnikov rule, right? Less number of hydrogen atom is Markovnikov rule. So anti-Markovnikov rule will be, it will get attached to that carbon which has more number of hydrogen atom. So here you can see this OH will get to which carbon? This one or this one? This is having more hydrogen. You can't say that it will get attached to this as it is having 3 hydrogen. No students, we can attach only to these carbon only because they are only having double bond. This is, we can't attach it to this CH3. Okay, so we have only 2 options left over here, either CH or CH2. So you can guess CH2 is having more hydrogen. So this negative part will go to this CH2. Remember, this is anti-Markovnikov rule. That's why I'm doing this. And this H plus will get attached to this CH. Right? The positive part will go to that carbon which has less number of hydrogen atom. So now what product I will get is ethanol. If it would be following Markovnikov rule, the product that I would be having is CH3, CHOH and CH3. It would be propane 2-ol according to Markovnikov rule. But since this reaction is following anti-Markovnikov rule, so I'm getting, okay, I have made some mistake in this reaction. It is propanol. I hope you understood the mechanism behind this. So you can take any other example and you can do this reaction. It is not that complicated. Just the thing you have to remember is that these reagents will give this HOH over here, and just we have to add it according to anti-Markovnikov rule. That's it. Next is student reduction of carbonyl groups. We all know that what are carbonyl groups? C double bond O. And there are 3 total carbonyl groups we are aware of. One is aldehyde, ketone and carboxylic acid. So these reactions are kind of very easy. Here I have taken one aldehyde, and what I have to do, we have to add H2 in this, right? So we are going to do reduction over here, right? A reduction means addition of hydrogen, okay, in presence of nickel. Now students, what will happen over here? This double bond will get broken. The half part of the bond will go over here. The half part will go over here, and then there are 2 H, so one will get attached over here, one will get attached over here. So here I have got alcohol. Let us take one example to understand it better. CH3, C double bond OH plus H2. Remember to put the reagent over here, that is nickel. Now what will happen over here? This double bond will get broken and we will get RCH OH, and then the H, one of the H will get attached to here, and it will be CH3, right? So I have got ethanol. Easy. This was reduction of aldehyde. And if I have to write the statement of this reaction, it would be when aldehyde reacts with hydrogen in presence of nickel, the product formed is alcohol. That's it. Now students, we are going to see what is reduction of ketone. Actually, aldehyde and ketone, both of these reactions are almost the same. So it would be easier for you to understand this reaction. Now what will happen over here? I have taken one ketone and I am adding hydrogen in it in presence of nickel. Now what will happen? Here the bond will get broken. Half of the bond will come here. Half of this will go above. And this H, one of the H will get attached to O. And this H will come over here. Here I have got one alcohol. Now here we will take one example, CH3, C double bond O, CH3. Can you guess the name of it? It is propane 2-one. Now I'm adding H2 in this in presence of nickel. So I'll get CH3COH, right? And one of the hydrogen will go over here. So what I have got over here is propane 2-ol. So when propane 2-ol reacts with hydrogen in presence of nickel, the product form is propane 2-ol. Now students, we will do another example over here, reduction of carboxylic acid, but there is a slight difference over here. When it was aldehyde and ketone, it was quite easy to reduce them. So we have taken a catalyst that like nickel, or we can take palladium, etc. But when it comes to carboxylic acid, it is a very strong compound and we require a strong reducing agent to reduce it. So here we can't take nickel. It is not as strong to reduce carboxylic acid. So what I have taken over here is one of the most strongest reducing agent. So here it is LiAlH4. So if you know the name of this reagent, then well and good, but I'll tell you the name of it. It is lithium aluminium hydride. Okay, so this is one of the strongest reducing reagent. So when it reacts with the carboxylic acid, it gets reduced and it forms alcohol. So you can say when alcohol is reacted with lithium aluminium hydride, it gives out alcohol. That's it. It's a very simple reaction. Now the only reaction we are left with is from Grignard reagent. So we are going to prepare alcohol from Grignard reagent. Now student, we are going to understand how we can prepare alcohol from Grignard reagent. So first remember, while preparing alcohol from Grignard reagent, you have to take aldehyde as a reactant. So here I am taking aldehyde, that is our C double bond OH, and then we have to take Grignard reagent, that is RNGX. Now student, what will happen over here? See, this double bond will get broken. Half of the part will go over here, half will go over here. Now what will happen? This NGX part will get attached to oxygen, and this R alkyl group will get attached to this carbon. So I'll get a product something like this. Since the reagent is getting added to the reactant, the product form will be called as adduct. Okay, so now in the second step of the reaction, I'll take this adduct, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to react it with water, that is HOH. Now students, see what will happen over here. This MgX part will react with OH, they will get attached to it and they will be removed. So MgX OH is removed and this H will take the place of MgX. So we have got an alcohol. Okay, understood? Well, first we have to take one aldehyde, we have to react it with Grignard reagent, an adduct will be formed. Then take that adduct, react it with water. The OH part will get attached to that magnesium halide and the H part will get attached to the oxygen to form an alcohol. Easy. Now in the next lecture students, we are going to study about the reactions of alcohol. Till then, revise all the reactions including the reactions of halogen derivatives. Thank you.